Have you ever wondered why things are so expensive in Singapore? 2 words: land pricing. Land price is the main driver of the high cost of living here, and the reason why we are the most expensive city in the world. But how does this work? The government is the largest landlord in Singapore. It owns large plots of land throughout the island. It determines how much land is sold and the price at which each parcel is sold to the HDB and to private developers. This means that the government controls the sale of prices of new HDB flats, commercial rental, and tender prices for private developers. It does this through giant real estate companies like Capital Land and Maple Tree. In other words, high land prices mean high sale prices and rentals. Businesses have to rent or buy office space, and the higher the rentals and the commercial property prices, the higher the overheads for these businesses. These overhead costs are passed on to the consumer by the increase in prices of goods and services these businesses produce. And there is another way that high land prices affect you. Because of the high price in office space, businesses try to keep wages down by keeping wages low so as to maximize profits. They do this by hiring cheap foreign labor instead of Singaporeans. Singaporeans are further disadvantaged in that large foreign retail chains and corporations are better able to afford the high land prices than local entrepreneurs who operate small retail outlets and SMEs. So the overall effect of high land prices set by the government is that, 1, things are made much more expensive. 2, it also has the effect of putting our homegrown businesses and entrepreneurs at a disadvantage. And 3, it lowers productivity and increases unemployment and underemployment. Now, the problem in this whole setup is that the PAP government doesn't own the land in Singapore. This land belongs to all of us here. And it shouldn't be used by the government for profit and make life so stressful and tough for the citizens. Instead, land should be used for the common good of all the people and to make life easier for all of us. Even the middle class, or the sandwich class, as we call it, is getting badly squeezed by the rising costs. Many of you, we know, many of you cannot save because your expenses outstrip your wages. As a result, many Singaporeans have to work harder and harder just to stay at the same spot. All this exacts a social cost. Have we become calloused and immune to all this? We shrug our shoulders and we sigh a sigh of resignation and say, "Bo pian, what to do?" Jing hu, like that one. After a while, it even ceases to bother us. We've lost the ability to feel outrage at life's injustices. We see the number of poor growing in our very midst. We see lines for free meals lengthen at temples. We see our elderly dragging their aching bodies to work so that they can earn a few dollars to feed themselves. Our workers hold down 2, sometimes 3 jobs just to earn enough to pay the bills. The younger ones are unable to find jobs that pay enough. Their dreams of buying a flat and starting a family made exceedingly difficult to realize. In life, we are confronted with choices. We can choose to live passionately and for what we believe in, or we can continue this path of timidity and fearful silence. Either we live and dare mightily, or we cower in fear without spirit. And let it not be remarked by history that we were a generation who remained on our knees even as our overlords stripped us from our freedom and dignity. Let us stand up to those who would oppress us. Let us look them in the eye and tell them that they will demean us no more. Let us speak up for the poor and the broken. Let us live free and dignified lives. Let us dare mightily, and in so doing, know what it truly means to be Singaporean. Thank you. Good night.